Hey guys, it's Daniel here. Originally I was going to make a video to show how I fixed my car door, but I realized the tool that I needed to buy to fix it ended up being a lot cooler than the actual process of fixing my car. Now I'll still have that at the end. It was the inside door panel, but what I want to show you is this nut rivet gun that I purchased. And I know I probably spent a lot more money than I should have. You can get these pretty cheap some places, but I spent I think $65, $70 on this to get a set that had all the different sockets that I wanted. So with your normal rivet gun, which I have right here, you have your rivet gun and you have your rivets. And for them, I don't know what just popped out of that, but essentially you have your piece of material. Say you have two pieces of material here. I'm just going to use this one piece as demonstration. What you do is you take your rivet, you put it right up in the material, and then you squeeze the trigger to actually get it sealed. And the nice thing with rivets is if you don't have access to the other side of the material that you're working on, you don't need to do anything. You just have to have access to the one side and you're good to go. So once the rivet's in, that's basically it. It's set, that you don't have to do anything else. But that's also the downside of the rivets, is you can't take it back out unless you actually drill it back out, and sometimes you can mess up the material that you're working on by doing that. Now that's kind of where the rivet nut gun comes in handy. So the rivet nuts are essentially rivets that have basically a nut in them. Whoops. So you take your rivet, you pop it in your hole. You only want to use the one side of the material that you're working on, and like a rivet, you don't need to be on the other side. You take your rivet nut gun. Oops, got it too tight. There we go. Now I get the rivet nut on, widen it back out, tighten it in the rest of the way, or at least for the most part. Put that in, and then you're just going to want to squeeze until that's in there. Of course, it's easier to do when you have a solid piece of material. Whoa! Now you might be still thinking that you still have the downside of the rivet, whereas you can't take this piece out, and obviously you still do. But the nice thing is, whatever material you're working with, now you can just put a screw in there, then you're good to go. It's in there. You don't need to do anything else. Like my car door, I couldn't access the inside of the panel of the car door. I could only access the outside portion of what I was working on. So the easiest way to work around that would be to either use some kind of wall anchors, which I'd considered that, but that was a really bad idea. Or obviously this. And I've been looking at this tool for a while because I can also use this with 3D prints. So a lot of times I'll put threaded things in 3D prints and the threads don't hold up, but I can just put one of these rivets in and then I'm good to go. Now, I will point out one thing. If you're dealing with this somewhere where it's vibrating a lot, if you're going to use this rather than a normal rivet, you'll want to put some thread locker on the bolt. That way it doesn't pop off on you when you're using it. But in most cases, I do like this a lot better than a normal rivet. With that being said, I'll show you some of the footage that I took of fixing my car, and you can kind of see how the rivets come into play there.